Hi, Zizaran here with another video, and we are going to talk about the new league, the teasers, a little bit about Ultimatum and it not going core, and we'll cover all of that in this video. So first, let's cover Ultimatum. So Ultimatum is not going core. I'm a little bit surprised, but I'm also pretty happy whenever a league doesn't go core, because I feel like the default decision at the end of every league now is, it's going core 10% or 8% or whatever every map you open, right? And that's a little bit of a little bit boring, a little bit of a sloppy implementation in my opinion. And I would much more love, like, my biggest wish for Path of Exile, as those who have been watching for a long time know, my biggest wish is that we get more core endgames like maps, something to challenge maps. So we had three, right? We had Delve as a standalone endgame, we had Maps as a standalone endgame, and then the Beyond World, or the Breach World. Like, I don't care. Just the third one. Or Synthesis, in a better, not shit form. Because I know a lot of people didn't like it. And then we could have, like, okay, Ultimatum is going core, but we're putting it in Delve. Or Harvest is going core, but we're putting it in Delve. That being said, while I didn't enjoy... This is going to be a trip of a sentence. I love Ultimatum as a league, but I didn't enjoy playing the league itself as much as other leagues. Like, I would say the mechanic itself, like the circles, the Trial Master, all that stuff, a lot of that stuff is really good and I really enjoyed it. I think that's a strong league mechanic. However, a lot of the decisions they made for, like, balance, for drop tables and stuff like that, I was hoping to see some changes to the Maven drop table. I was very, very disappointed in the fact that, like, every boss drop, like the Minotaur and everything, just drops from everywhere. And a lot of things like that I just didn't like. So, like, this patch, I guess, I really didn't enjoy playing the game. I burnt out way faster than any other league I've played. But the Ultimatum league mechanic, I think, would probably be one of my favorite, especially with a few changes. So there were some things I didn't like. The Trial Master, I would much rather prefer that maybe the Trial Master only spawned in maybe tier 14s or tier 16s, and that you could always go to the max amount progress in each Ultimatum, but that the last ones were just really hard. What if you just aren't meant to go to the last one when you're first getting to white maps? That it's very clearly getting out of hand and you're like, fuck, I'm probably not able to do the next one. My character's just not strong enough. Maybe the Trial Master isn't always there, but he needs to be, like, more deterministic in some way. I've never been a fan of bosses being gated that way, which is kind of weird because I generally love RNG. I generally love these rare moments happening with drops and stuff like that. But I feel it's important to have a balance of some things being random and some things being deterministic. And since so many things in Path of Exile are completely random, I get kind of... I've never really enjoyed bosses like Owl or Trail Master. In the last video where I talked about Ultimatum, how I was enjoying this league so far, I even forgot to mention inscribed ultimatums because they were such a non-factor. Throughout the entire league, I bought 2 good inscribed ultimatums and I found 1 good one. 1 worth doing. And this is very problematic. The biggest problem with inscribed ultimatums is all of those that are like, ooh, double 5 all orbs. The only reason to ever use those is A, okay, your SSF, but the game isn't balanced around that, so it's never worth doing in Trade League, because the drops, like, you know how if you're doing an ultimatum, you're killing all the white, blue, and rare monsters, they're all dropping a lot of stuff. That is not the same for inscribed ultimatums. They drop nothing. You can be in there for like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and it drops like 13 wisdom scrolls. And that doesn't feel good. That is the worst part, in my opinion. Like, even if you find one for like 5 all orbs, the only use for that should not be to vendor it for 5 to 1 to hope to get a good one. That should not be the only use for it. I actually really liked inscribed ultimatums. That's something I want to see get reworked and go core. I think it's a really cool idea. I think it works really well in Path of Exile, but the shit ones need to have a reason doing. Alright, and then next up we can talk a little bit about the new performance patch. Path of Exile just put in a new performance update, and also importantly there's a new, like, if you click F1 you get a new bar now that shows you, well, it can help you track where your bottleneck is. It'll show how much your CPU is doing, how much your GPU is doing, latency, and how much the server is working and stuff like that. So you have more information now, and there's been, like, you know, a performance update. I think the best league ever for me was like 2.1 or 2.3, like whatever, 2 leagues before Beyond, I think, It was like, everything was super smooth for me. It was like the most stable game ever. And then after that, I've generally had very little success with stability and performance in Path of Exile. Some leagues being worse than others, some leagues being better, Delirium being the absolute worst, where I basically started crying because everything went wrong with the PC I was running on. And this is what forced me to do a dual PC setup, which is basically that I'm streaming on a different computer than the one I'm playing on, so that the gaming PC doesn't have to use resources for streaming. However, I tried the new performance patch, and I was first on DirectX 11. I switched to that in the middle of this league because Vulcan became unplayable for me after one of the performance patches, and it would just completely stutter and lag. And on DX11, I sadly did not have access to Delirium. I would basically get huge freeze frames while doing it. And now I logged in now today, and I started doing a map on DirectX, and as you can see in the background, I'm getting huge stutters, especially in Ultimatum whenever mobs are spawning or dying, I'm not sure which, but I'm getting absolutely huge stutters. It did start getting better towards the end of the map, so most likely it was maybe just loading things in and getting used to things. I'm not quite sure, but I switched to Vulcan once again because generally Vulcan should be better. And yeah, didn't have a single freeze frame the entire map, and I tried to switch to a Delirium map, and that was also smooth, whereas, you know, in the middle of this league, I couldn't even do them. So hopefully this has fixed a lot of my problems. I've seen a lot of people praising the patch and saying that they have good problems, but obviously with a game like this, someone's fucked all the time. I've been that person. It's never fun, especially when other people are praising the patch around you. It just makes you cranky. It seems pretty stable for me now, and I see some other people are also reporting that the first map was a shit show, and that I don't know, maybe PoE needs to warm up now. We just need to crank it up. So if you're trying the new performance patch, maybe try 2 maps like I did, and always in PoE it's worth switching between DX and Vulcan and seeing which one works the best on your setup. And speaking of the new league, there has to be some teasers. We've seen loads of new skills, and that's what I'm the most excited about. I love when they add new skills. Obviously, I'm going to be making a longer video on this when we actually get some information and not a 20-second video. A little bit surprised. I think some people had overhyped how much teasers we were going to get. Like, obviously, this was just 20-second video. That's what they usually do. I think maybe some people were confused and thought we were getting the full reveal, and that's why people are upset. Either way, I think the new skills look very exciting. And every time they add new skills, it's very cool. My biggest hope for the patch is obviously a large amount of nerfs to what's currently very strong, and a large amount of buffs to what's currently weak. You generally see me celebrating nerfs a lot, but I don't like nerfs when there are no follow-up buffs. I don't just want to see things get ruined. I want to see, let's say, like, slams are destroyed or whatever, or just changed, whatever. But like maybe, okay, not conversion trap, but you know, just Reeve. What if Reeve is the strongest skill in the game next patch? I would love to see a big change up. Ideally, very few of the most powerful skills should be the most powerful skills this league. I always think that's fun and exciting. Obviously, that's not for everybody. Some people just would love, for example, Winter Orb to be the strongest skill every league, and that's completely okay. I just like when there's a big change up. But when there's only nerfs and no buffs, that doesn't make me happy either. Let me know in the comments what you guys like. If you guys like seeing some skills just being OP all the time, so you have something comfortable to play, or what you enjoy with nerfs and buffs. Other than that, we're also seeing less of like Bex teasing things. They said that she's been busy setting up the community team and asked for feedback how much people enjoy those teasers and stuff. We haven't seen anything about a league mechanic. We've seen some NPCs, one that looks like a bit of a pirate. He's got a peg leg. I'm still hoping for a boat league. I think my favorite type of league would be something where you're exploring similar to Delve, but with like islands and boats. I think that would be really cool. It would work really well in PoE. You could find different types of islands, go for treasures, go for mob kills, like bosses. I think that'd be excellent. I love Delve and Synthesis type leagues. I will be like streaming and live on the announcement. So if you guys want to see me react live to that, I will be doing that as always. PoE University will be announced soon as well. And for those that have maybe not been enjoying the Tarkov content, I will be back on Path of Exile soon. Fear not. Either way, my name is Zizaran. Thanks for watching. And more importantly, try to die less than I do.